We have Ethereum, symbol ETH versus the dollar. And what do we have? We have a silver cross incoming alongside a nice consolidation right below the green 55, which is typically a nice bearish setup. Of course, it will be invalidated with any sort of a move back above yesterday's high, which is 31.66, or a closing high above about 31.25. One of those two things would obviously invalidate this, and I would be looking for a move back up towards somewhere between about 3350 to 3400 or so. However, short term, this is downside angled, being governed by the 10 symbol right here. Would be looking for another move down around these last few wick lows to like 2750 or so, assuming that Bitcoin moves in that same direction as well. What do we have going on right here? We do have an ever so slightly lower high, but it is a lower high at that, albeit, very, 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 what did I draw right here? I think I drew an M. M is for murder. Let me get rid of this for right now because it's not helping. Short term, I mean, you are in a bit of a range, but this is a redistributive format right here, especially completing below all major moving averages, which is usually not a good sign and very likely does lead towards continuation. However, would I be looking for another bounce off of somewhere between about 2750 to 2800 first? Probably yes. It's probably going to be easier to watch Bitcoin for general moves here as well. Below about 40, I think it was 41,000 bucks or so for continuation. But again, bearish, short, medium, and even long term, as long as you're below about 3160 above there, I would look for another move back up towards 3350 to 3400 or so. Would look okay with that. It would start to look a lot more like a potential bear trap in the making. But as long as Bitcoin's below 45,000 bucks, it's kind of hard to be thinking that. Of course, another move down somewhere right around here very likely does bounce it. However, over time, where are we looking at on the weekly? The weekly 21 is right around 2800. So again, I do think that you will bounce it once again right there. However, if this one does start to break down, and let's say Bitcoin breaks below 40,000 bucks. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, although I do think that it is, somewhat likely, and Bitcoin does work its way to like low 30s or mid 30s. You probably will find Ethereum somewhere around 24, probably somewhere between about 23 and 2400 or so over time. So with that in mind, 4 hour right here, short term down. Do you see 4 hour RSI playing out the hidden bearish divergence from yesterday and also operating below the exponential right there? We do see over here, as far as momentum oscillators go, from a Stochastic perspective, we do see 12 hour will be crossing down below 2860. Daily is going to freshly cross down today with a closure below 3127 in the bearish control zone as well. So that is not good. It's typically what you do see precipitating a breakdown. 4 hour will remain to the downside as long as below 3100 or so, and hourly is flipping up right now, but 2920 is the magical number on that one, and doesn't look too strong for the time being. So again, invalidation points are very important for something like this, obviously, just as is Bitcoin as well. But as long as things below the last lower high, which is 3140 or so, don't really have a reason to change opinions on that. Now we do have the quarterly closure coming in at the end of Thursday day, that is. And how's this one looking for right now? It looks okay. I mean, if it closes above especially 30,000 bucks, I actually would be looking at that as generally good coming into end of year, but that's more long term, obviously. And that could still come alongside of a test down to 23 to 2400. So Ethereum, I do like it long term still, just short term and medium term, very likely some downside moves. And I don't really have anything bullish to be looking at here as long as you're above about 3140 or so. And again, above there, I'd be looking for a nice move. And maybe this even turns out to be like a major bear trap. But for what it's worth right now, one's starting to break structure a lot. So I am more inclined to say a downside first before anything else. And like I said, short term, probably does play another downside move here and probably does bounce again. How high does the bounce get? Anywhere below 3,000 bucks is just another lower high. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ethereum.